Hi, I'm Alex, the developer of the BeamNG mapping tools. I have a new update out which allows you to generate a BeamNG terrain, a BeamNG map from elevation data so that you can do real life maps in BeamNG quite easily. So in order to show you how it works, I decided to use this portion of the world. It's the Gotthard Pass in Switzerland. Has nice curves, quite nice vegetation with green and rocks, and we try to do that now. First of all, I please you to download my tool. You go to my GitHub page. It's in the description below. You find the link there, and you go to the releases page and download the latest release. You have the setup file here. We download it and install it. Because my setup file is not signed like the big companies do it, because certificates for signing are expensive. You get this warning message that there might be viruses because we don't know the developer, but you can click this information link and then you can proceed with the installation. I just stepped through. I took over the BeamNG developer license. You have to accept it. Just install it. And press finish. So, okay, tool is installed. We go to it later. First of all, we need elevation data. Elevation data for the Gotthard Pass. So you could use MapNG by Nikki for it, where you can choose places all over the world. Problem with Switzerland is even with the high premium GPXZ API, the resolution is not that good. So it's not good enough for what we want to have. So I searched a bit and I found that Switzerland has very high elevation DEM data, very good resolution, 0.5 meters. The link to this page is in the description below as well. And you come to this page where you have to find the Gotthard Pass. You can't search here. This is really a pity. So you have to take a look at the map and try to find it. So I tried to remember it. So it was burned, it was this lakes here, and somewhere beside this lake, somewhere here was the Gotthard Pass. I hope so. Grindel Pass. All the time I have the problem to find it. Unbelievable. Ah, here it is. Arolo, and here you see all the nice curves we want to have. This is a special piece we want to do. So can I zoom in a bit more? Yes, I can. So, and now we have to take a look what we want to select. Can we select more than one? No, it doesn't work. Then you have to take a look what you can do here. We can do selection by rectangle. So I just take, oh, it works wonderful. Ah, new rectangle, of course. We start here. How does it work? Ah, this way, okay. And I just take this 4 tile thingies here. I have the selection. You see, we have this cloud optimized GeoTIFF format, which is well, we have the nice resolution, and we search for the tiles. Now you get a list of tiles here. I guess it will be 9 or something. Yeah, oh, and more than 9, huh? And we have to download them all. So remember what you downloaded. Download, download second, third, and so on. And we have to go on here. I hope I don't forget a tile, because then if we load them all, my tool has problems to get the right elevation stuff. But I take a look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, we should have 12 tiles in our downloads folder. Check it. Yes, it's 12. That's good. I copy somewhere else. Here to a GeoTIFF folder I made in the temp folder. And then I have him there. Now we can begin with the process. I open my tool, perhaps make it a bit bigger. I do it whole screen. It's not perfect for such a big screen that I have. And I don't explain everything new now in my tool. I just go through this process and you will see what is new. But what's very important to have fun with the spline tool in BeamNG later on, install my companion mod, load and save Mastersplines. You come to the web page if you click on the link and you can download it there. You can then use generated splines for the level we do. You will see how it works. Okay, we just hop into the process. We go to create level wizard, which helps us to create a completely new level. I give it a level path name. I call it Gotthard. We call it Gotthard Pass. In the second field is for the display of the level name in BeamNG, and leave all the other fields empty. Perhaps the country is nice, Switzerland. Could be good for license places, I don't know. Everything else I leave, but now the important step is we saw how Gotthard Pass looked with green and rocks and stuff like that, and we need to use a vanilla level which has material which is sufficient for this region. So I take East Coast USA because it has mud, dirt, rocks, grass, whatever. So I take the East Coast USA. So the terrain size at this point is not important because we change it later in the terrain generation tool. So we can leave it as is. I guess it will be 4,000 multiplied by 0.5 meters. It will be a 2K map with a 4K resolution. So we press initialize new level, and now my app grabs some important information for level building out of the East Coast map, like you see here, like cloud layers, level info, scatter sky, blah, 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 all the stuff which is needed to make a level running in BeamNG. So as I said, it's a wizard. We now step to the next wizard step, select terrain materials. It reads the terrain materials out of East Coast now, shows it to you. It calculates the different colors out of the base color texture from the East Coast map, but it doesn't use this texture because with the texture copied, we couldn't paint in the new level. But it extracts the color, the most dominant color of each layer, and uses it so that you can paint with it in the level. If you don't understand it, doesn't matter. Just leave it as is and select all of the materials. You have this selector above the list, so everything is selected. We leave it as is, and we say copy selected. So it's done. If you have the feeling you need more materials from other vanilla maps, you can do that. But I don't know how exactly now. I guess we have to unclick everything here. Oh. Okay, we go to the next step. We go to the forest brushes. Of course, we just want to generate a terrain now, but it's always nice to have some forest brushes available in the level. So I use all of the forest brushes instead of this man-made thing. We don't need that. We copy all the selected forest brushes. It's not so easy if you want to do it by hand with the JSON editor and copy stuff. It's not so easy to copy a forest. So I thought it's nice to have this tool. So it's done already, and then you can copy assets as well. It's the old copy tool, but it has a major overhaul so that it uses the new link system of BeamNG, so that not all the textures are really copied to the new level, but the link files and stuff like that, and the materials, of course, the material files. Oh, we don't need it for this demonstration, but in order to show that it works, I just copy all the East Coast stuff. Fits perfectly to Switzerland. I copy it. Sometimes you get some error messages because it doesn't find an image or something, but sometimes it's really buggy vanilla data. So, okay, we're done with that. And now comes the most important step. We go to the terrain generation. So it reads some data in from the level. And now we want, of course, to see what our GeoTIFF tiles look like. So in the first part here, you could do the old PNG stuff like in BeamNG level importer, but we want to do GeoTIFF. If we have a single file, we use this button, but we have tiles. So we go to this button. Decided to split this functionality because sometimes you could have very small tiles from GIS pages with more than 1,000 tiles for a couple of square kilometers, and you don't want to select them all in one window. So I decided to have a folder selection for it. So press GeoTIFF, press to browse, and we go to see temp, click on the level, select it, and you see it analyzes the GeoTIFFs, stitches them together, and you see the result. We have this 0.5 meter by 0.5 meter resolution. And you see a bit below, these are the settings which are going to the terrain info JSON file. You have the terrain size. I increase it now to 4,000 by 4,000. And say we have this 0.5 meter resolution. The name of the terrain doesn't matter for me now. Interesting thing is, okay, we have to select the exact part we want to have. This one here is a bit small, so we can open full screen and scroll in a bit, and you see here all the nice curves. Oh, I guess it's okay. For demonstration, it's okay. I say apply selection. You see the resulting max height in the level. It's the difference between the lowest and highest point of our crop. And yes, I'm happy with it. Here you have a lot of settings. I don't want to explain it now completely. We just want to see how it works. My default settings are quite okay. So we leave it as is. Later on, I want to include automatic tunnel and bridge generation. So therefore, I have this two checkboxes already here where you could leave out tunnels and bridges out of the OSM data generation, but that's nothing for now. And now you have the terrain materials like you are used to it in BeamNG level importer. But the good thing here is that you really can change the sorting, because it works, this layer generation in BeamNG with the material layers works a bit like an overhead projector with all this foliage stuff which you put on top, all these papers. And the top one here always wins. So it's quite good to know. I'll show you why it's important later. What we normally do is we select one of the materials as a kind of default or fallback material. Everything which is not really assigned by a material layer will fall back to this material. This should be on top of the list. Normally it's grass. Most of the people take grass for it. So I don't know exactly. I take this grass East Coast. I put it on top so that I don't have to care. Everything I don't assign is grass. So, and we keep it very simple. We just start with a road because this is what we want to see. So, and for roads, of course, we need an asphalt thing. So I leave it down here. It doesn't matter where it is at the moment. So we have here the ground model Asphalt 1, Asphalt 1, sorry, German. I enlarge it and I say I want to have a layer on it, not a PNG file. I could take a PNG file, but I want to have OSM shapes. And now the magic kicks in. I click it and I say select OSM shapes. Now my tool does the query to the Overpass API. This can take a while, even if, especially when you have a large terrain, I have to make a lot of queries then because they are a bit picky because they have millions of requests in an hour, I guess. But I put all the endpoints here, 3 or 4 overpass addresses, and I do a round robin if it doesn't work. But here you have to have a bit of patience. Sometimes it's very fast and it's immediately there, sometimes not. We will see if we get error messages, but then it makes a retry automatically. You see now. First one was a missed attempt. The second try, we will see what happens now. Second one worked. You see, data is in. We have now the map here. And what we are interested in first is, of course, this yellow, nice, curvy road. So on the left side, you have a kind of a filter pane for selecting the OSM features. We are interested in roads and not in land use, not in natural now. And we are interested in lines here. See, polygons are not there because roads are normally lines. And then we have to find, of course, the right lines here. Primary, you see, is the big road. I'm not interested in right now. We can do that later, of course, but I don't do it now. I want to have the secondary road. You see, the secondary road gets marked, and this is the street we want to have. I just only do this now for the first test, and I select this 21 features because it's kind of chunked, but I will make one spline of it later in background. So you see here all what we selected. It's nice, but this alone doesn't help us to bring the road really to the map. We need for roads to enable the road smoothing functionality. For everything else, if you want to do import buildings or forest layers, stuff like that, you don't need that, of course. But for roads, you must enable roads. Quite easy to understand. Click on it, and now you have a vast amount of new parameters, but we go more or less with the default settings, except for the road preset, because for the road preset we want to have a small road which is not so wide, because we have this tight hairpins, and you get a list here. I decided to make a distinction between PNG or OSM vector data, but I changed so many things in the code. It doesn't really, it's not important what you select. Even if you make OSM, you can use PNG or vice versa. But I have a nice OSM preset for mountain roads here. I take it, and you see it sets some parameters in: road width 6, road surface 5. I guess that's quite nice. Of course, it's quite narrow. You must try it out. Perhaps we do it a bit different because it's very the path is very windy. We make it both 6. Why not? Then you have a blend range for the terrain blending, but the roads are so narrow here that you hardly get any terrain blending in the curves. But doesn't matter. You can take 15 meters or 10. I will leave it at 10. I told you we leave the defaults more or less. Just the side slope I will make a bit higher. Even that is not important, but we are in a very mountainous region, so I take it. So, and I don't change anything here. Here you have a node distance. This is the node distance later in the Masterspline tool, so that the nodes are not so narrow like in the default settings of BeamNG. I think they make way too many nodes. You can change it here. I leave it as is. But this thing is quite interesting here because the Masterspline has a width as well. And very often, if it's the same width as the road surface width, I have to explain this parameters a bit. Okay, I do it the first. This road width, yes, is really, I wrote it down, the elevation smoothing corridor width. So this is the part which is really elevated, where it shows 6 meters. This road surface width is the width which is painted with the asphalt material later on. Yes, you can make it a bit lower. You know, you have, I think, this margin thing in BeamNG. I'm not sure. It's a bit more or less the same. And then I have this third parameter here for the master spline width. If it would be the same width like the road surface width, very often the grass, goes into your asphalt. And then you have the road markings covered with grass and stuff. And here you can do a little bit against it. So I do something like that, 5.6 meters road width with a master spline. You see later how it works. Okay. Then you have enabled banking. Sometimes it works, sometimes not. Just in order to make it a bit faster, I leave it off now, the generation. And then you have a lot of advanced nerd settings, which I don't want to show now. I'll make an extra video for it if you have edge cases and stuff like that. So yeah, with these settings, I'm quite happy. And we give it a first try. So I press generate terrain. And now this thing does a lot of stuff. It really makes this TAR file for BeamNG, but it gets all this road data and it makes this elevation smoothing, which is a bit expensive in calculation. But you saw it wasn't that bad in time right now. And for the first step, if you're doing the wizard, first time, really take a look what I have written here. It's quite important for the first step that you obey the rules. So as it's written here, first of all, save your preset, finish the wizard, and copy the level to your levels folder so that you can test drive it already. And then later on for test and refining, you can always go to the generate terrain functionality, load the level in, load the preset in, and do your refinements. You will see that. But for the first step, do it. Otherwise, perhaps your work until now is lost because it's in a temp folder, Okay, we understood. We go and make our preset. You see, export preset. Where am I? Wrong. I go to the temp folder. Why not? I make a new folder. I call it preset Gotthard. I always use this 2 underscore lines to have it on top of the list to find it easier. Okay, we save this. Then second step, as I told you, finish the wizard. You have this button down here. Did I forget something? There must be a folder open. No. I always run into the same trap. Problem is, you have to choose the folder where you want to save the preset. And then you have, of course, to press this button here. If you forget it and go back to the application is locked because this window is still open. So we have it. It saves the preset. And now we can press the Finish Wizard button. Now you see very prominently here, copy to levels. Yes, you really have to press it. Then the level is copied from the temp folder to the BeamNG user folder levels, and we can test drive it and refine it. This is what we're doing now. I press the button. Why do I have already a level Gotthard there? I'm pretty sure I tested it again. Tested it already. So it's no problem. Let's take a look. I see I have a lot of levels here. Of course, I tested it already. I deleted. And hey, now it's copying. So, did it copy? Yes, it copied. Yes, perfect. Okay, so far so good. We leave it open. We open BeamNG. Yes, it's always exciting if you do kind of live presentation. I had to start this 2 times now because I only talked nonsense, but now it works quite well. So we go to the free roam. You see our Gotthard Pass, yes. What I do is you see a lot of things here with orange letters. I just generate a small preview image just with the name of the map so that you can find it. You can exchange it later, of course. So we go to Gotthard Pass. And take whatever car we want. This car is nice, but it drives really hard, but why not? I take it. Start free roam. And of course, I'm not sitting in my rig. I have only keyboard here. Doesn't matter. We just want to see how it looks and refine it. First time loading is always a bit time consuming. At least it's a 4K map. So, okay. First of all, I have to... car sound. Too loud for me. Okay. So now you see we have a road here. I zoom out a bit. You already get a feeling for it. You see the mountains, very, very good resolution. We have the road here. And the nice curves. Just make it a bit faster. And somehow we had this, you remember? Somehow we had this picture here. So we are nearby, I would say. Not too bad. It's another angle. It's more this angle. Or more this angle. Yeah. We have the road. We have the mountain. And now we can start to refine. But first of all, what we do is we take a look how it drives. And of course, it's much nicer. No, it's too fast now here. So it's of course nicer to have road markings. And now my mod comes into play. I open the Masterspline tool and have this folder button here, which comes from my mod. You go to levels, you search the Gotthard thingy. Here it is. And my terrain generation tool always creates this empty underscore terrain generation folder with a lot of debugging information, layer images, all OSM layer images are saved and stuff like that. And you have the splines folder, and there is a master spline JSON inside. We choose it, we open it, and you see we have the master spline ready, which is quite exact. Problem is, you see here, 15 meters is not perfect. Perhaps we have to increase it in the next round. We will see it. But just to make a test, I just have selected it. I just make it a road. Ready. Okay. You see, it's way better. So road is quite smooth. Okay, you can forget it with keyboard. This car can't be driven by keyboard, but it works nice. Okay. Now we could start to refine, for example. So how can we refine it? You could stop now, close the application, whatever. I just do it. I just close the application. Everything's gone away. I open it again. Yeah, you see, BeamNG mapping tools. We open it. We go to the generate terrain immediately. And as folder, we select the unpacked level folder, which is of course now in our current folder. Current levels, Gotthard. I need new glasses. And we just open the folder. So then, of course, we have to import the preset. Preset is, I saved in ctemp. Where's my preset? Did I do a mistake? Please don't say I did a mistake. It looks like I did a mistake. Okay, that's of course bad. What did I do? I make a pause. Okay, I'm getting old really. I just placed saved the preset in the GeoTIFF folder we made before. Here you see the preset file. Okay, I thought my tool is corrupted, but it isn't. So import preset again. The temp. Now I have to take the GeoTIFF folder. And here's the preset file. The preset file is compatible with BeamNG, so I save all the layer maps in there. You even could generate the terrain with the BeamNG importer, but you won't use it anymore after using my tool once because it just doesn't crash using the process. You see I imported the preset, everything is in here. You see our road model asphalt, East Coast. I told you I wanted to try perhaps to use more nodes for the road here, for the road spline. So I say perhaps we make 5 meters. We will see what happens later on. This might be okay, but of course we want perhaps to have some dirt roads as well. Yes. So where are the dirt? Where's the dirt? Dirt. Here's dirt East Coast. I put it above the ground model asphalt. It's because what I told you, overhead projector. I don't want to have the mud going on the asphalt if the OSM data is not exact enough, and most of the time it isn't exact enough. So it's better that we paint the asphalt over the dirt. And therefore, this sorting. Here we do the same. We go to the OSM shapes. You will see that it's now very fast because I build a cache of all the OSM data and save it in the app data directory, so that if you are working for a longer time on one map, so that it doesn't have to catch the data all the time. So we go to roads again, lines, and we want to have the tracks. There are only a couple of tracks, but we want to have them. So see here, we select it, we enable road smoothing. We use a dirt road, which is quite narrow. And that's it for the moment for the dirt roads. And of course, what would be nice, we have to see what we have. We have this rock East Coast thing here. Put it over the roads. And I hope we have some rock information in the OSM shapes. We will see. Select OSM shapes. So it must be somewhere here in land use natural, but there is not that much. They have not very much information for this area. In some areas, if you download, you have 50 things here in the list. So, but we only have some. So now this is bare rock, which is okay. Yes. And here you can see the green thing goes over the road. You see why I put the rocks above the roads. Otherwise, the rocks would paint over the asphalt. So we take this bare rock and use the rock. And the other things, to be honest, I have no clue what it is. I don't know what. Did we have something like forest? No, we didn't have forest here. I guess they have no forest at this height. But perhaps I can take the ground for one of them. Yeah, we do it. It doesn't matter. So we have scrub. Where is scrub? Our scrub is down there. There we do something like grass later on, I would say. We have scree. Oh, this grass scree is okay. No, scree is something else. Okay. And we have military. There's military. Okay, no. No, 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 no. We do it that way, that we use this forest thing here. Why not here for... Oh, I want to have grass over there. I want to have grass over there. That's not a good idea. We don't do it with forest. We take... perhaps we take something like dirt grass. Dirt grass is nice. Take dirt grass for this crop thingy here. We'll make a feature select feature. It's okay. And this other thing is more like this rock large thing here. Yes. I guess it's that way. I guess we're dirt grass. What was dirt grass? This was the scrub thing. We just have water, isn't it? Where did I put the rocks large? Yeah, for rocks large. I think I used the scrub thing. Cree, yes. And I use it for water. Because I have no water material here, and in East Coast you have all these small rock large things in the water. I put it here. I want to do something that we can generate the water paints as well with my tool, but this will be in the next step, so it's okay. It's okay for now. So I generated. Yeah, it does a lot of things. So done. I changed so many things. What I do normally then is exporting the preset as well. Perhaps taking just the right folder now. This one. Yes. And now we can go to BeamNG and just reload the level. You don't have to restart now because it knows the level already, so that you can just start again. And you see it looks a bit different now already. Okay, I think I took something stupid here because I made a mistake. We wanted to have, where are the rocks? Ah, no, the rocks over there, you see? Okay, you see the roughness is a bit off. Ah, no, these are the things which are normally in the water. Therefore, the roughness is completely okay. Yeah, rocks. Yeah, don't look too good, but I think for a small test drive, it's not that bad, isn't it? I love it. So what we do now, I try to I delete this road spline because it was not good. And I hope that with 5 meters node distance, the splines are getting better, but I don't know exactly. There must be some work left for modding. Gotthard. So splines, open. You see it's more narrow now, more dense, and I hope it's getting better. But sometimes, of course, if our curves are too tight, then you have problems with sometimes with the roads and the bending of the textures and stuff like that. Quite normal. Let's take a look, but it looks better. It looks way better. It looks really good. I want another car. I take it. This doesn't matter. Oh, I would like to have my rig. Oh, let's go there. Yeah, I would say we have the Gotthard. Quite nice. Of course, the materials are not perfect now for the things I've chosen, but you will have better ideas than me. I just wanted to show how you make real life maps quite easily in BeamNG with my tool. That's it for today. Download my tool, test it, give response to me, use my forum thread. I will have it in the description. Tell me what you think. Does it work for you? Do you have errors, stuff like that? Because it's just out and nobody really tested it except a couple of people. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. See you soon.